By clicking the link in the stream's description. The professor wants to hear from you.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good car.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Yeah. Isn't it lovely?
Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thought. And today's episode is brought to you in part by Chops, Cards, and Print on Demands. Now, have you looked at a trading card and thought, man, I would look great with that, but didn't want to put in the work? You didn't want to be an athlete. That's too much time and effort. Well, Professor Bear has a great shortcut for you, and that is order one from Chops, Cards, and Print on Demands. Their high quality trading cards are so awesome, and you can set yourself up any way you want and give the facts on the back of you and what you love to do. And because you know your professor, I'm going to give you 15% off your entire purchase. Yes, 15%. All you have to do is put Bear 15. That's it. That's all. And you'll get 15% off your total purchase. That is from Chops, Cards, and Print on Demand. Your number one in trading cards. Now, today, my special guest, she is doing her thing on the independent scene. And my guest today is Alexandra Quinn. How are you doing, ma'am?
Hello. I'm doing good.
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Uh, yeah, I'm doing well. I'm, trying to recover from a long weekend. So,
Can understand. So tell us about your long weekend a little bit.
oh my gosh, noises. Okay. Um, I forgot already. Okay, now I remember. So Friday, I had a show in Atlanta. Then the next day after that, I had to drive to Saraland, Alabama for another one. And then Thursday, I had to Yeah, I had another one in Vinings, Georgia. Like it was just, I was, I was everywhere. I was traveling everywhere. I feel like I barely had time to relax. And
Well,
then,
that's a good problem to have. That means you're getting bookings, people are seeing you do your thing. So I understand it's tiring, but it's definitely a good problem to have.
well, it is a good problem. I'm just tired. But like that's like my only issue. I don't, I'm not big on being tired. But but it's a blessing. Just I'm doing what I love. So that's all I can say.
Definitely. So I always like to start with this question. How did you get into wrestling? How did you was the first time that you saw wrestling like, hey, this is cool?
I believe I was 7. I think I just knew I was young and I was under 10. So I couldn't watch wrestling where I was living. I was living with my dad, and I couldn't watch wrestling there. He was very strict on what I watched growing up. But like, and like I would go to my mom, and I think I only watched like cartoons and stuff. And when my grandmother used to pick me up, and she would like take me to bed, I would like skip through the channels and I found wrestling and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I would wait for the girls to come on and I got so excited. I think I don't remember who. I think it was Alicia Fox and like somebody else. I forgot who it was, but I was like, oh, this is great. There's girls wrestling. This is so cool. I was like 7. So but I was like, I didn't watch it consistently. I only watched it when I was at my grandmother's house. And then I didn't start watching it fully until I moved in when I was like 12. And I think it was, or 11. It was one of those. It doesn't matter. But it was like around the season of SummerSlam 2012. I don't know if you remember. It was the main event was Daniel Bryan versus John Cena and Randy Orton. Yeah, because Triple H was the guest referee. Triple H turned on Daniel Bryan for Randy Orton to cash in on. Yeah, and that's when I was like, 11-year-old me was furious. I was so mad, and uh, the whole like yes movement, and I was it got me. I was a yeser, you know. I was a huge. I'm a huge Brian fan. I'm still a huge Brian fan. He's still my favorite till this day. So yeah, that was so yeah, I didn't start fully into wrestling until I was like 12, but I was been watching it on and off since I was like 7.
It's pretty cool. So how did loving wrestling translate into you getting into the wrestling business?
I actually have no clue. It just happened. Um, well, I can't say that fully because when I was young, I always liked combat sports, but I was I was raised in like a very traditional family, so they didn't really believe in like girls doing that. So I wanted to. So when I was like in elementary school, I actually wanted to do like karate and stuff, and I couldn't do it. And so, and I feel like yeah, that was just a part of me that just I guess was never able to like come up because of my family. And so when I was like 19, I was like not in high school. What am I talking about? I was in college. Excuse me. And I was like, and I was in school for web development, which I had my degree, but it was I was like, dang, this is like not fun when I actually have to like spend time learning about it. Like, and that's when I realized, like, dang, that's not what I want to do with my life. And I felt like I thought it was, and I'm like, what do I want to do with my life? And then I had like a whole like episode. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I want to do. And I was like, I always loved wrestling because I actually wanted to be part of the wrestling team in high school, but again, I was not able to do it. So I was like, oh my gosh, I want to wrestle. And I was like, do I? And I was like, oh shoot, I do want to be a wrestler. And so it was like very like weird. I just like it was like a how you say it, epiphany? Yeah,
Epiphany.
yeah. So I what's it called? So I finished school, and then that's when I was like, I'm gonna try to find out how to be a wrestler. Yeah, that was it. Kind of just happened. Like it was just oh.
So, so tell us how um, how did you find the school and who trained you?
Um, Google first of all. Okay, so my I couldn't. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do wrestling school living with my dad. I love my dad, by the way. I love him so much, but he's very conservative in that way, and also, yeah, he didn't really wanted me to do that. Like, like like my family's Caribbean. Like, they want you to be a doctor, a lawyer, veterinary, like
Right.
something. Yeah, so it's like all that stuff. But I was like, I don't want to do that. Um, and I knew my mom lived in Georgia, and so I did research on wrestling schools in Georgia, which, like Nightmare Factory, like, and so it's like that's like the main school that people think of when they think of Georgia, in my opinion. And I was like, I don't know. And then I saw AR Fox had a school, and I was a fan of AR Fox. I was also like an indie wrestling fan when I like the older I got, and so, um, yeah. And so I was like, oh my gosh, AR Fox has a school, and I did the research on like how far it was from my mom's house, and I was like, this is not how bad. So yeah, I chose AR Fox over Cody Rhodes. Just so, you know, I was like, oh yeah. Uh, so I started. So I called my mom and I was like, hey, so like if I move in with you, uh, can I like I want to do wrestling school? And then she was like, yeah. And so I moved to Georgia. By the way, I was living in Pennsylvania at the time. So yeah. So that's kind of how. And so like again, AR Fox is the one that trained me. He's when I say that man's a legend and a genius in this business, like I feel like they take his very nonchalant persona and they're just like, oh, but like that man is like he has a large mind. It's amazing, brilliant. I don't think I would have learned so fast if it wasn't for him. I'm being honest.
So with training under AR Fox, and you're saying that he has a brilliant mind for the business. How long did you train before you got your first match?
How long I trained before my first match?
Yeah.
Probably a little over a month.
Uh, okay. You clearly didn't hear me because I said, how long did you train before you had your first match? And you
I
said a month.
I said a little over a month. I started training at the last week of November in 2024, and I think I had my first match January 2nd, 2025.
Wow. That okay, so I guess my first question is, did you just catch on so quickly?
um
And two, is AR Fox on drugs? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm just asking for a friend. I'm just saying.
Oh, would it be bad if I say a little bit of both? uh,
No, no, no. So, so seriously, you trained for less than 2 months and got your first match?
to be fair, my first match was at my school. I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't go on the indies until March.
what? What? I mean, and I mean, no disrespect, but that is very quick to start training and then start competing.
Oh,
So I,
yeah.
I'm taking that you really just gravitated to everything they were showing you.
Um, I guess because I'm really one on not liking to go out and make myself look like a fool. And like I take his opinions and what he says very seriously. So um also I feel like he had a lot more like because I believe me, I wouldn't he was actually trying to debut me earlier. And I feel like he had a lot more confidence in me more than I had the confidence in me. Cause he was I don't know what it was. I can't really explain. It's really hard to explain what goes through that man's mind. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. I can't tell you, but I know that, and it wasn't like a one-on-one match. It was like a scramble. It was like the easiest thing, and you have like 3 spots and you're done. And so, and if I show you my first match, I'm like, well, compared to what I'm like yows. But also, I feel like that's how everybody is. But yeah, it was it was kind of quick because I know from what my vets would be telling me, they be saying like, yeah, we wouldn't have debut until like a year, and I thought that before I started wrestling, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna debut until like a year, like in my mind, like last year, I would still be training and not have my first match like right now, and yeah, it's very weird. I don't know. I know what I have dealt with in this business already is not normal. I have had people that are like 3 years in be like, what you're doing right now is not normal, right? And I guess I don't know, man. I'm just here, and I try to stay humble because part of me is still like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like maybe I do know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, well, I mean, honestly, for how long you've been in the business, I I I can understand why you feel that way. I mean, you must have something very special about what you do if AR Fox has that much confidence to let you start wrestling less than 2 months after training, and then you're going on the road. So
And
you have
I did
to.
session, by the way. I didn't just go. I was like, hey, you think I'm ready to take bookings? And I was like, and I think that was like in March. It was in February or March.
Well,
Because yeah.
I was going to say right there shows that you have to have some great skills, and you're catching on so fast that he allowed you to take bookings. I mean, no, truthfully, no one who trains wrestlers would let someone with that less of experience go out to wrestle anywhere else, because not only are you putting yourself in jeopardy, but the person you wrestle. So you have to be very good at that.
Yeah, it's like it's more than no wrestling is way more than just doing moves. Way more. Like I've gotten hurt from a headlock takeover before. Like it's way more than moves. I promise you. Like I've gotten hurt from like the dumbest things before because they just because one of the main things that he has like made sure is that like he like I feel like I got onto the class at a very good time because like he's on the AEW and he so sometimes he's like on the road a lot and sometimes he's not. And so I got him when he wasn't on the road a lot. And I was blessed that he was able to teach me the basics very well. And like, and one thing he did, which I very appreciate him for, is that he nitpicked the hell out of me. Nitpicked the hell out of me. Like, he made sure I got it right. And I feel like that's why, because he had like high expectations for me, which I appreciate. I feel like again, that's why I I got good very fast. So,
I've been blessed to talk to a lot of different wrestlers in the business. Um, I've had talks with longtime veterans, people who've started, who's still training, and I've, like I said, I've heard different scenarios. But this is really mind blowing, and now I am so curious. Now I want to see your match to see what AR Fox seen in you.
I mean, we can. I mean, I have
Hey,
it.
I definitely am. I call myself a professor, so I do a lot of watching and studying of wrestling. So that is, again, that is such a huge compliment to you as as a trainee, that your trainer has that much faith in you, because not only are you representing yourself, you're representing him
Oh
and
yeah,
his school. So
that's why that's why like even though I'm taking bookings and I get all that, I still go to training. I still see myself as a trainee. I'm still learning. And I'm not and but also I'm not saying it's like, oh, I don't know nothing like cuz he says it too. Like he's very humble too. He says even though he's been in this business probably longer than I've been alive, he says I'm still learning too. Like and then he say he's learning and what he learns he's teaching us what he's learning when he learns something new. Like you can never stop learning no matter how
exactly,
much in my opinion and definitely in this business. Like
exactly. When you, as my father once told me, once you can't learn anything, that means you're dead, because no one knows it all, and you can always learn. And when you can't, you think you know it all, it's a wrap.
yeah, I will gladly say that I don't know I don't know everything. I will
So, so how often do you do training?
um okay, so training usually is from Monday to Wednesday and we have our show days on Thursday. So I try to at least do training. Wait, well, minus the Thursday show because Thursday's not. Well, it's like a training show, so it's like you're training to do like it like shows, And so, I guess like all week, the most I do is miss one day. That's like an estimate. Like I haven't, and that's minus like if we're closed because he's on the road or something. But or unless I have like something going on, like I couldn't go yesterday because I had a show yesterday. But I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna be there Thursday. I'm here. Again, that's also another reason why I feel like I caught on. Is like I try to be there as much as I can because I don't like missing stuff. Yeah.
Well, um, going back to your long weekend, um, did and forgive me because I am kind of ignorant to this part of the business. Um,
Mhm.
were were the promotions reaching out to you, or did you have to reach out to them, or did AR Fox um, reach out to them? How did that work for you?
Fox doesn't do when it comes to bookings. The only thing we do with him is pretty much ask for permission. He doesn't help us. Like he'll give me advice when it comes to like my fees and stuff. Cause but when it comes to bookings, majority of them they have reached out to me. I'm not gonna lie, like both. Okay, so the first one on Friday, that's DWA. That's the booker that runs that show. Actually, I train with him, so I like just and those are like not in like the mean way, but I kind of see this as like kind of practice matches too a little bit, but also it's like only because I'm around like people I know. And so the one in Saraland, Alabama, they also reached out to me like 2 months ago. And so like and they wanted me to and I guess they liked me, so they are planning on bringing me back. And on Monday, yeah, he also asked me. But also the booker for it was a booker for Action Wrestling. And we're pretty like I don't know, like I try to be there like during his shows. Like I was a fan at first. Like I used to go as like before I started wrestling. And but we're cool now. And he was like, hey, do you wanna like do this show for me? And I was like, sure. And I'm doing one for him on Friday too, so yeah.
So ag- again, it's what people have seen of your skills what and what you do in the ring that makes them want you in their promotion, which again goes to speak on your your skills as an athlete. That's big, very big.
I didn't really think of it that way. I'm not gonna lie. I was I'll just be like, oh, I'm blessed. They just say like me. They want me to be on there. Sometimes I wonder if they even watch any of my stuff. I wonder, but but hey, honestly, I reached out to. I'm trying to think how many I've actually reached out to and got it. I can only think of like one or two. Like,
Well,
or
uh,
some of them like are keeping their eyes on me or something like that. And I just have to.
well, and I definitely understand being humble and not wanting to toot your own horn, but there's a way you can speak of yourself and be humble at the same time. Again, I I don't know too many people who could say they've done what you have done in such a small amount of time. And
Yeah.
again, when your trainer has that much faith in you, that's that speaks volumes. Because, like you said, AR Fox has been doing this quite a while. So, if he didn't have faith in you, you would have never got out there to be able to
Oh,
take book.
probably not. And like, I feel like okay. The one thing I would give myself is that I work very hard. This is like when I say this like surrounds my life. Like I I feel like I make it known like this is what I want to do with my life. And so that's pretty much all. Like I think I'm okay. I think I still have a lot to learn, like a lot to learn. But I will, but I'm not lazy about it though. Like I train a lot, and I try to keep bookings. Like I try to branch out. I'm like a very like you think that like I'm like a very outgoing like I don't know very I know I'm very monotone, but like doing all this, but I'm actually a very like antisocial person. But like but I'm also like, and I need to like knowing that if you're an indie wrestler and you want to make it in this business, you need to put yourself out there. And so I purposely take myself out of my comfort zone because I know what I have to do, or some of the things I have to do to make it in this business. Like, mm.
With that being said, what is your 5-year goal in the business? What is that like?
I feel like my goal in this business, like everybody else's, is to get signed. You know, also becoming becoming a face of the company, or I guess, yeah, a face of a company. I was about to downplay myself. One of my main goals right now is I do want to wrestle in Japan. Um, yeah, before even getting signed, actually, I want to wrestle in Japan. Uh, because I take a lot of my inspiration from Joshi wrestling. I want to say too much inspiration, but yeah, like I love Joshi wrestling so bad, and I be like finding new moves just for like if you see my YouTube, I have like a whole like playlist of '90s Joshi wrestling, like AJW, just studying that, just seeing how they move, just all that. So if I have to put like in order, it's to wrestle in Japan, and like, and I know I probably won't get that until like give me like a couple of years, probably like two minimum. But yeah,
So earlier you mentioned that Daniel Bryanson is one of your favorite wrestlers. Who else inspire you?
um, uh, I don't even know what to call him. I guess well, Edge is the one that has also inspired me when it came to character work. Um, he doesn't have like the most craziest moves, but I just like it was how he carried himself in the ring. I know he goes by like Cope or something. I'm sorry, that's Edge. But but yeah, Edge, he's a huge inspiration for me. Actually, he was my favorite wrestler before Brian Danielson, and then he like and Brian Danielson kind of like took his spot because I don't know, he like inspired Brian Danielson's honestly the person that inspired me to wrestle. And then when I think of like, dang, how am I supposed to like talk in this promo? I always like go to like him. Like he's one of the people I go to study for that. And this his
That's
heel is was insane.
that's cool. So um what about wrestling style? Is there anyone that you pattern yourself after?
Brian Danielson. I try not to. I try to steer away from it. When I first started, it was bad. It was bad. But I was like, what does he do? But I was like, nah, I need to be my own person. So I only use some of the stuff he does, but he doesn't use too often. I try not to be too mm, I try not to be too much of a copycat. But when it comes to I would say I it's not really a person per se. It's more of like a style. So I try to stick with like European wrestling and like Japanese mainly. So I like grappling and chaining. I'm still I'm still trying to get better when it comes to like grappling. Yeah, because honestly, in my opinion, it's kind of hard. Like, and then Japanese, it's like strong style. You know, I'm a very big on striking. I I hit people pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. I be apologizing after though. I promise. I be apologizing. Like I'm sorry. And what else do I do? I don't know. I just be doing weird stuff. I just be kicking and hitting people really hard. I throw people around. I have like a little bit of a sleeper build. I'm not gonna lie. I be throwing people. I be like seeing pictures people take of me, and every time I do suplexes, I'm on my tippy toes. I was like, why do I do this? Oh yeah, I like suplexing people a lot too. It's kind of fun. Like, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
So with the so then I would take it that you do a lot of studying of different styles and trying to incorporate it into um your overall wrestling forte. Um, do you is there any particular thing that you hadn't mastered yet that you really have a desire to like, I'm gonna get this. This is one of these moves I have to master.
Um, yeah. Uh, I feel like I don't study as much as I should. But also, I do unfortunately have a life outside of wrestling, so I don't really have much time during my day. Like you saw, like I told you, I like passed out earlier because I was tired. I was doing like all day, and so and again, it was like chain wrestling, grappling. Like I want to get better at that. Like I watch people like Zack Sabre Jr. or Jonathan Gresham, and they're just two examples out of so many. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I be watching it, and like I be looking at the screen like, like trying to figure it out. And I'll go in the ring and I'm like, I'm gonna try this move. And then I completely botch it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. And then I go to Fox. I'm like, how do you do this? I like show him to go look at it. It was like, yeah. It's that's but also I feel like that's a very loaded question because I feel like there's a lot I can work on. I haven't mastered anything. People might be think I'm like good, but I wouldn't say like I've mastered because I'm still learning how to be a heel. I, like
What? Oh, stop.
yeah,
You're a heel.
if I have to be. No, I'm usually a baby face, but
Okay. I was about to say, okay, I'm gonna have to stop this interview because you are just literally blowing my mind. You get out here, you ain't trained long, and you're a heel. What?
no, I'm not. I'm only okay. So when you're like wrestling for a certain company, you just gotta be what they want you to be. So they'll be like, "Hey, you're wrestling this day. I need this information. By the way, you're a baby. By the way, you're a heel." It's like that because on my like I was a baby for okay. So actually, it's funny. I feel like I was like all three honestly this weekend. I was an aggressive baby face. So I had a baby match on Friday, but I was the aggressor, even though I was the smallest one in the ring. So I was like the like trying to beat them up. And then on Saturday, I was the squeaky clean baby face, and on Monday, which yesterday, I was a full heel. And I was like, and I'm not, and you can, it's okay, you can make that face. I barely know how to be a heel. I know. I went into that ring and I was doing something, but I'm going to be honest, it felt fake. I was like, I really hope this is convincing. I really, I was like, and then I would be like doing something like, okay, so what do I say now? Oh, you jerk. I just be like obnoxious, you know. I try to do that too. Like, I don't.
Well,
Um,
and it's good that you do different things, learning perspective of all. But it's just I cannot see you as a heel. I see I see you like my daughter. My daughter is just that. I can't think anything bad about my daughter, even though I know she do some things bad. I just still can't see it.
yeah, it's fine. You just met me today, and you're just like, I can't see you as a heel. Oh, yeah. And you know what's hilarious? You know what's hilarious? Because on Monday, when I walked out, I was giving everybody a stank face, and these people were still cheering me. I was like, what? I was like, come on. And in my head, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I need him to stop cheering me. And so I just like kind of like, I don't know what I did. I kind of like just like use it as like a cocky moment. And so I was like, oh yeah, they're cheering me, they like me. And then when I got into the ring and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys like me? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, no, I don't like you. Yeah.
Well, and honestly, that is a
Oh,
great way of being a real good heel. That everybody loves you so much that you just give them attitude, and that is a good way because again, immediately when I see you, face. There's no that, oh well, she's just having a bad day. That's all that is. She's having a bad
no,
day. She's still the
no,
good girl. Go.
no, because it's so bad you say that because after the show, so I left my water in the crowd because I was sitting there and thank goodness did nobody really touched it. And it was intermission. I was like, dang, I need to get my water. And so I walked out. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I was trying to like I was trying to like stay a little bit in character. And I walked out. And when I say like half these people in the front like started clapping, they're like, yeah, you did great. I'm like, I'm like, no. I literally went like, no, 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 like, no, you're not supposed to like me. And they were like, oh, sorry, boom. I'm like, yeah, boom. I'm like, it's like, guys, come on.
Oh my
It's
goodness,
no,
that is hilarious.
yeah, that was like my whole like Monday night. I'm like, oh, jeez. And that was not the first. Yeah, it's like I'm still learning. I'm like, jeez, it's hard down here. People say it's so easy to be healed, and I'm like, it's hard. It's hard.
Well, I think a lot of times that people dig into their truthful self. All of us have a bit of heel in us, and for people who are just commonly nice, it is hard to dig into that personality because your true personality, like, no, I can get over it. I don't have to do that. You have to be pushed to be a heel. And if you're just a really nice, genuine person, you need some help to get that character out of you.
It's funny you say that because that's kind of like a part of my character now. So, my character. So I started out being how my character first started is I started out. It was kind of like it was basically me, this very overexcited wrestling fan that finally got to start being in the business. And so one thing that I did is because like I was like a huge wrestling fan. Like I used to watch like the content of like my school before I started wrestling. So I actually knew some of the people at my school before I started training because I was like, and so I was like the ones that I knew before training. I act like this crazy fanatic. you know? So like if you watch my first match, one of my good friends, his ring name is Jay Tyler. I was like, oh my, I was like in the ring and I was like, oh my gosh. I like took his hand. I'm like, it's so nice to meet you. And he's like looking at me crazy. He's like, oh my gosh. And then what happened is that like so basically I wouldn't like do anything with them, like the ones I was a fan with, but I did the ones with who I didn't like know. I was like, oh yeah, I'll beat y'all asses. I don't care. And so, and there was a part in the match where I hit him, and I was like, oh my gosh, Jay, I'm so sorry. And he like pushed me, and he was like, get off me, and I just snapped. And like, and all I then yeah, and then I just like started screaming and wailing on him, and then all you see is this big dude is like, yeah, I appreciate him for doing that for me.
That is
But
amazing.
yeah, and then like I started, the more wrestling I did, the less I kind of steered away from that. But it also does depend on the person I'm wrestling, because I'm not wrestling everybody that is like I know. I'm not gonna pretend that I know them either. So, because if I don't know them, it's kind of harder to be like, oh my gosh, I saw you in this and this and this and this, like
Right.
So, um, yeah. So I mainly just go for like the people take it as like the crazy girl gimmick. I try to do it. I try to steer more of like you have to provoke me to do the crazy girl thing. Like I'm just like a happy go lucky, like yeah, guys, yeah. And then you push my buttons, and then now I'm just trying to break your leg. So
I love it.
yeah.
It, I, it is so amazing to get this point of view because a lot of times I've, I've talked to people who hadn't been in the business long, but never this short amount of time. And it's amazing. And it's very easy to see your love of wrestling, just the way you talk, your excitement, even just when I say something, I start laughing at you almost blush at times, and to me, that shows your passion for the sport, and that will carry you so far. I truly believe that.
I hope so. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I will never deny my love for this business, because when I say I truly believe wrestling saved my life. Like it saved my life. Like I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't start. And I almost didn't. Like I really almost gave up on like starting this dream because of me listening to the ones around me. I was saying like, "Oh, it's stupid, it's fake, it's this, it's that," just because I told them that I like it. And then like my pastor is like one of the people. She was like, "Just do it. Like, who cares? Like, is that what you want to do? Just do it." And I was like, you're right. Like, why am I?" And honestly, she was one of like the first like adults in my life that like was like, if this is what you want to do, if this is what you love, then you have to do it. Like, and it's kind of weird because you would think that people hear that all the time from the people like their family is like, follow your dreams. Like, I didn't really get that growing up, I'll be honest. So having to be like 23 and finally get told, yeah, like follow your dreams. Why are you worrying about what other people say? It's like, it was kind of like, whoa. Because I already wanted to do for years before that. It was just that, like, I'm like, dang, if I start this, am I going to get disowned or something? I didn't, but like.
No, I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Um, it's one of those things, and as I told my son and daughter, I'd rather you go for your dream and fail versus you not try at all. Because at least you can say you tried and you put your heart and soul into it versus looking back when you're my age. Oh God, I should have did this. My life could have been this if I only would have did and not listen. A lot of times it we have to get into what we believe in and try. And that's all you can do. I mean, I'm 52 years old. I'm doing podcasting, wrestling, talking to wrestlers, doing different things with wrestlers. And I never thought I would be able to do this. And a lot of it got stopped because I was too scared to fail. And I wasted so much time worrying about what everybody else thought about me instead of just trying.
Yeah, that's honestly, I'm glad you said that because like that was one of the main things I was. Excuse me. Yeah, honestly, that's like when you start wrestling. I feel like it's anything in wrestling, like anything in wrestling, like that fear, it has to be like out the window because you're gonna fail so many times. People be failing on TV, like WWE and AEW. They be failing all the time. Like so, it just shows that we're human, and this is a hard sport. This is hard. Like I don't really like when coach says like, "Oh, this shit easy, man," and I'm just like, "Well, it's easy for you because you've been doing it since you were like 12." I'm like, like, well, that was exaggeration, but like, it's this is hard. Like, and it's harder for others. Like, it's a spectrum. There's people that have been wrestling longer than me that can barely get bookings. So
Uh,
you just
I
gotta.
I know a young lady that to this day she is still training. She is still doing it, and she's been doing it for 8 years. But she's not giving up. She's had her moments where she's broke down, quit. A couple of weeks later, she's right back, and that's all you can do. Try. That, especially the way the world is today, you have to try and believe in yourself. Number one, if you don't believe in you, nobody else is going to believe in you.
You're right. Oh, being in this business teaches you to be selfish. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then you have to have, and some people won't have confidence in you, like at all, and you have to prove them wrong. Like I'm telling you right now, I can't tell you being a black woman in the South wrestling is very, it can be very weird sometimes. Again, I was in Saraland, Alabama on Saturday. That was an experience. I was told by a little boy to go back where I came from, even though I was the baby face. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like, okay,
I went to
um,
school down there, so you're not telling me nothing I don't know.
yeah. And so it's like, yeah, and I've had times where like I went to like uh, a company that I've never been to, and I was like, hey, it's okay, I get a match, and they're like, okay, and the person they give me, they're like, ooh, because they don't know me. They just see me, and they're just like, and I'll be honest, I'll take it. Like I don't really look like a wrestler, and so like, but I was like, yeah. And then they were like, who you train? Like who trained you? And I would say AR Fox, and they were like, oh, you're fine. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, guys. All I have to do is say my trainer, and then they're like, oh, pretty okay. I'm like, yeah. Well, or like you can just see me in the ring, like. And like in that day, it was like I got in the ring and they were just like, "Yo, you're so good." And I'm like, "Thank you."
I know I am. That's why I'm here.
No, 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 no. I've never. I know.
I'm just joking.
I would think like I'm. You're your worst critic. When I say I cannot, I can't. Like I can enjoy a match I have, but like I'd be like, dang, I should have done this. Dang, I should have done that. It's like you have to learn. When I say I'm so like I be told like you did so good, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I think out of all the different podcasts I've done, I've listened back to 3 of them. I hate the sound of my voice.
Yes, and I'd be like so mad at myself for getting gassed, like getting tired in the ring. Because sometimes I'd be doing a lot, and then I'd be like, and you see me going, and I'll be trying to mask it with like anger or whatever, and I'm like, oh, why am I moving like that? I'm like, and so yeah, I can only. It's really hard for me to watch some of my matches back because I didn't like how I was moving. Or yeah, so.
And that's the thing, and that's something that I had to slowly learn, that none of us are perfect. There's things we can do, and obviously we're doing something well enough if people are watching or listening or have good comments about us. So only thing we can do from there is try to improve.
You're
That's it.
right. Yeah, because sometimes people are like, I don't think they do it on purpose, but they won't give you advice. They were just like, "You did great." I'm like, "Dude, I did terrible. Why are you telling me this?" I'm like, don't lie to me. I'm like, we'd be so mad. I'm like, don't lie to me.
I get it. But again, if enough people are saying it, then it can't be a lie.
Mm. I feel like sometimes people like me, they don't want to hurt my feelings.
Well, luckily enough, you're talking to me now. I don't care about your feelings. So,
Well, you said you never seen any of my matches yet, so
right. Don't worry. When I watch them, I will send you a detailed uh, text message of how many spots you blew. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. I'm just playing. I would never, 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 never try to tell you what you are doing wrong because I've never did it, can't do it, and I don't have a place to sit and criticize you. Even though I criticize everybody else, but I wouldn't criticize you.
mm, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I already criticized myself. I don't need a lot of people to do it. I already do it to myself.
Oh my goodness, this has been super fun. And I can't lie, this was more fun than I was ready for. It was great to hear your story. I'm super glad that to get to interview you. Um, Man, so if you're doing this now and hadn't been a year in the business, man, I can imagine what you're gonna do when you get up 3, 4, 5 years.
Oh, geez.
But you have an open invitation to come back to my show. We will definitely, and matter of fact, I even got a better one for you. So a part of one of my groups is called the Watch Along, and
Hmm?
I would love for you to go to their show and you be there, and I will make sure I'm there, and we can watch one of your matches all together. How about that?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, we love doing it. We love, uh, again, It is the love of wrestling, and we love to help indie wrestlers get their name out there. And I think it'll be fun. And plus, when we watch it together, I can just tell you, like, that sucked. What is that? What? Nah.
No, it's totally fine if you do that. I'm just gonna laugh. I'm just gonna laugh. I'm like, you're right. You're right. Like, no, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if we watch it together, all you're gonna hear is like, why did I do that? Well, why did I do that? I'm like, I'm just gonna be critiquing myself real bad.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna say it before you. I was like, that sucks. I was like, I'm gonna hear me say it before you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
what I do, I'll reach out to the host of that show, and we will work something out, and we can get together and watch one of your matches. How about that?
Okay,
that is great. Thank you so much again. Thank you for all you're doing to take wrestling to the next level. Thank you for just giving your all to the sport that we all love, and continue having success. And again, you're welcome anytime on my show.
I appreciate that. I'm glad I wasn't too much of a, glad I was at least a little entertaining, you know?
You were fabulous.
Thank you.
Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining us around the campfire one more time, and to learn about this fabulous young lady that is doing her thing on the independent circuit. This is your host, Professor Bear. This is another Bear's Thought. Thank you so much for joining us. And remember, 2 paws up.